Good afternoon, welcome to Solent Sports News. It's 4 o'clock and I'm Doug Webber. Southampton continued their poor run of form this weekend. A 2-1 home defeat to Everton means they haven't won a league game at St Mary's since April. It seems the fans are becoming increasingly frustrated. Is there anything the club can do to turn their season around? Ben Wakeford reports.
Almost 5 minutes of stoppage time played. Southampton are surely out of time. Yes, finally, Everton have got that win on the road in the Premier League. Southampton 1, Everton 2.
That's the sound of an ending of another home loss in the Premier League for Southampton Football Club. This leaves the team without a win in the Premier League since midway through September. The South Coast side now sit 19th in the Premier League table, and fans have had enough of their poor run of form.
We deserve to be in the Championship after that performance today. Not just today, but all season. We deserve to be in the Championship. Our players are not up for it anymore. There's no investment in this club.
I keep saying it to everybody and everybody keeps telling me to be positive, but I can't be positive anymore.
Even though the manager's not been sacked, the supporters believe current boss Ralph Hasenhüttl's time at the club is nearing its end.
We've got a manager who doesn't learn from his lessons. He keeps making the same mistakes. Luckily, we're going into the international break, and we all know what happens in the international break. That becomes second time for bad managers. So maybe that's a crumb of comfort that we got. We might actually get a decent manager.
Despite the anger of the fans, Southampton's Daily Echo reporter Dan Sheldon believes the club are not yet ready to part ways with Hasenhüttl, and that there is another group to blame for the team's bad form.
As far as the Echo understand, he's not under any pressure as such, but he still has the full backing of the board. Chief Executive Martin Semmens and the majority shareholder Jishen Gao both believe he is the right man to take the club forward. If anything, their anger was directed at the players, and it's been reported elsewhere that they've made it clear to the playing staff that ultimately Hasenhüttl will be there longer than the players will.
So if the manager isn't going anywhere, what can be done to turn this season around for the Saints? Dan gives an inside view of what could be done by the people in charge of the club.
Two of them as well, Semmens and Gao, are contemplating bringing in a director of football to come alongside and help Ralph run the football side of things.
So, will a director of football help Southampton in their relegation battle? We'll have to wait and see. With the next two games being against Arsenal away and at Watford at home, they're looking like two tough games once again. We'll be watching closely to see if they can turn their season around. Ben Wakeford reporting for Solent Sports News.
Elsewhere, Liverpool have started the week in a commanding position atop the Premier League table. The Reds' 3-1 victory over Man City has given them a 9-point lead over their northwest rivals. Some are claiming that the title race may be over already. After the game, Jurgen Klopp responded to the title speculation.
We don't feel really pressure, to be 100% honest. Where's the pressure? Other people 100% said already from now on Liverpool can only lose it. Well, it's a very negative approach, but you can see it like this. We don't care. I promise you we don't care.
Sticking with football, the Lionesses will be without 4 key players on Tuesday. Captain Steph Houghton and attacker Ellen White will be rested for the game in the Czech Republic. White made her comeback from injury in front of nearly 78,000 fans at Wembley. Alex Greenwood and Jodie Taylor have pulled out with injuries. This weekend has been filled with plenty of great FA Cup action. For some of the Hampshire football clubs, the adventure continues. Harrison Reed has the latest.
The FA Cup draw takes place tonight, and non-league Chichester City, the lowest ranked club in the competition, will soon learn their opponents for the second round. City's 2-1 win at Bowers and Pitsea put them into the first round proper for the first time since 1960.
And there goes the full-time whistle. There it is, Chichester City have done it against all the odds.
Chai then received a bye to the second round, following Bury's removal from the competition, which was met with much jubilation when receiving the news. Chichester, 11th in the 8th tier Isthmian League South East Division, were the final club left in the pot at the end of the first round draw, and received £36,000 in prize money. Eastleigh drew 2-2 at Stourbridge over the weekend, thanks to a late Scott Rendell equaliser. The first round replay will take place on the 19th of November. Eastleigh have twice reached the third round, in 2015 and 16. If the Spitfires are to reenact their magic of the Cup and reach the third round, they will have to win their next 2 fixtures to be with a chance. 2008 winners of the FA Cup and now League One side Portsmouth will face National League side Harrogate Town. 10 years ago, Portsmouth were facing AC Milan and Wolfsburg in European competition after beating Cardiff at Wembley. The National League side will be looking to accomplish what could arguably be their biggest win in their history tonight when they face Portsmouth at their Wetherby Road Stadium. Earlier today I spoke to the editor of the non-league football paper John Couch about the importance of the FA Cup for non-league football sides.
The FA Cup, the importance of the FA Cup can't be underestimated. Not only is it massive for revenue, but it's just that magic that sort of 1 year it may happen. You know, you may get the TV cameras down, and you may get a big draw, and that, of course, sort of ignite just emotion really from not only the football club but the whole area, the community all getting involved, and just from one football match, that's it's an incredible feeling.
The FA Cup draw will take place at 7 p.m. and will be followed by action of Portsmouth versus Harrogate. Harrison Reid, Solent Sports News.
A Formula One team boss is going to miss a Grand Prix. Toto Wolff, the Mercedes team boss, will be staying in Europe to focus on other open topics. Technical director James Allison will take Wolff's seat at the Brazilian Grand Prix. The team have distanced themselves from speculation about his future. Roger Federer has been defeated on day one in London. He was beaten by Dominic Thiem in the straight sets. Federer must now maintain a perfect record in order to make the knockout stage of the tournament. The ATP Tour Finals, which got underway yesterday, see the top 8 players in the world compete. Our reporter Benji Rees has given us a preview of tonight's game between Alexander Zverev and Rafa Nadal.
Zverev is the reigning champion. He won this last year and is probably one of the favourites to take the crown. There was a little bit of umming and ahhing about whether Rafael Nadal would be able to play. He's been struggling with a stomach muscle issue, but we're told that so far he is going to be good to go.
Barcelona have returned to the top of La Liga. A 4-1 win over Celta Vigo helped the Catalans climb above Real Sociedad, who drew against Leganés on Friday night. Earlier, I spoke to Jan, a Barcelona fan visiting Solent from the University of Vic in Catalonia. He gave us his view on Barcelona's return to the top.
Players in Barcelona are not playing that well they can, and people is not showing all their skills in the pitch. So it's good to be in the top of the league, but Barcelona fans want the team to play well.
It's been described as the best match they've ever been involved in. Neil Robertson and Judd Trump played out a dramatic final of the Champion of Champions tournament. Sadly, it wasn't to be for Trump, and as Robertson won the match 10-9 in Coventry, knocking in 5 centuries in the process. There's a potential accolade coming for Eliud Kipchoge. The 35-year-old Kenyan has been nominated for the Male World Athlete of the Year award. His sub-2-hour marathon was not recognised as it was outside of open competition. Britain's Katarina Johnson-Thompson is also up for an award at the World Athletic Awards in November. Finally, this weekend saw a high-profile rematch in Los Angeles. The Staples Center played host to YouTubers KSI and Logan Paul in their much-anticipated second bout. KSI won the fight on a split decision, as Paul was docked 2 points for hitting his opponent on his way down. That's all from us for now. We'll be back next week with more of the latest sports news. In the meantime, you can keep up to date with us on our website, solentjournalism.co.uk.